Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. I want to start off today's collective reading video with a pretty specific message for a divine feminine that I am picking up on, who is in our collective here and who will feel drawn to this reading video. The message I want to share with you is that they know your worth. They know your value, because I feel that I am picking up on a divine feminine who feels as though there is someone, or possibly even a group of people around them, who is dismissive of them in some way. Someone who doesn't necessarily treat them or their time or their energy with respect. Now, this can be platonically or romantically, but the strange message I'm picking up on is you naturally in this situation are feeling as though you are being rejected by this person or thing. So whether it's a friend or a romantic situation or a job situation, you are feeling as though this person is not seeing your worth. But what your spirit guides are trying to get through to you, and what I feel they need you to know, is that this person does know your worth. They know your beauty. They know your power. They recognize the sacredness of your energy, and they are having a counter reaction. My guides almost wanted to call it an allergic reaction. Like, in a sense, they are allergic to your light. And what I mean by that is your brightness, the brightness of your illumination is pulling to the surface so much within this person that it's almost shutting them down. It's like too overwhelming for them to deal with. So instead of taking what's coming up for them and introspecting and working through it, they are projecting it onto you and making you feel as though you are being rejected, as though you are being pushed away. And for someone that I am channeled into here, at times when this occurs in your life or in your relationships, this may bring about a deep sadness within you. And I'm hearing that it's the sadness of the healer, because you are an incredibly powerful healer, and you heal through simply being present with someone. It's not even something that you have to actively participate in at a conscious level. Your presence, your energy has a natural healing effect on those who get to be connected to you. It is a privilege to be connected to you energetically. It's a rare opportunity because you and your brilliance present the opportunity to others to be able to see themselves more clearly. But some people run away from the mirror. Some people don't want to see what you are mirroring back to them. Now, a message I'm getting very specifically for a divine feminine is know that the awakened divine feminine is a powerful mirror to everyone she comes across. Now, of course, I'm using the pronoun she, but the divine feminine and divine masculine energies can connect with either gender. These are words to describe energy dynamics, and we each have a balance of both energies. But for those of you who are tuned into this particular reading, I am getting that for the most part, you are resonating more strongly as a divine feminine, which is why I am addressing you in this way. But The thing that the guides are bringing up about this mirroring effect is that as you grow, as you evolve, as you spiritually ascend along this journey, as you raise your vibration, you are going to become a clearer and more intense mirror. And what I mean by this is when your vibration is clear, just like when, for example, water is clear, a river is clear, a mirror is clean and clear, others are able to see their reflection more clearly in something that is clear itself. And so the more that you clear your energy, the more you raise your vibration, you become a more precise mirror to the people around you. What I mean by mirroring is that when someone looks at you, when someone connects with you, it is immediately and undeniably brought to the surface of their conscious mind what they really are. So people naturally feel a sense of exposure around you. I've sometimes referred to this also as the gift of illumination, meaning you are one who, even without meaning to, even without doing or saying anything, your presence illuminates the truth. I'm hearing it cuts through everything that is not truth. So people find it very difficult to lie to you. They find it very difficult to be inauthentic around you. And when they are in your presence, they hear themselves so loudly. They see themselves so clearly. So you will find that through your interactions with others, you will highlight both their best and highest, but also their lowest attributes and qualities all at once. This is part of why your presence can become so addicting to those who truly desire and crave their own spiritual growth and crave to embody their highest self. Because you will find that people connected with you naturally feel inspired. Now, they won't necessarily consciously know where this inspiration is coming from, but after connecting with you or meeting you or being in your presence, they will find their own creativity stimulated. They might suddenly receive new ideas about what they want to do in their life, what they want to create. They may even believe that these ideas originate with themselves, that they are just internally generating these ideas. But the wise ones, the ones who are truly attentive, will recognize that they are receiving these inspired ideas after they are connecting with you. And again, the way that you connect with others, it doesn't even have to be physical. I'm talking astral meetings as well. I'm talking dream meetings. I'm talking activated soul connections that might first become activated at a deep unconscious level, where then someone encounters you or meets you and at some point recognizes, whoa, this is where the source of that inspirational energy has been. This is the one who has been stimulating and generating all of this inspiration, all of this fire within me. But the thing is, just as I said, you can stimulate these heights of inspiration within others. You have this gift that cannot be overstated. And this is the gift for seeing others in their highest potential, and therefore calling them towards that highest potential. This is one variation of the gift you have of being able to perceive into all timelines simultaneously. So being able to sense when someone is going to be important in your life, even prior to saying the first word to them, you could see someone across a room and know that this person is going to play a major role in this lifetime. Equally, you can look at someone and you can see them embodying their absolute highest version of self. In essence, you can see them living fully aligned with their highest vibrational timeline. Now, this creates a magnetic kind of pulling effect. The mere fact that you can see someone in their highest potential naturally enthuses them. It naturally inspires them to reach more for that highest potential. Now, the shadow side of this is that you also can understand people's deepest wounds. Now, for the person I'm picking up on specifically in this reading, the reason you are so able to empathize with darkness, in fact, at times you may have been drawn to very, I don't want to say dark individuals, but people who carried a lot of pain, people who carried a lot of heaviness around their heart, around their aura. This might seem very counterintuitive, because why would you be drawn to someone who carries so much darkness? It's because you have a deep empathy for those in darkness and pain. And the reason for this, for the one I'm speaking to here, is because you yourself have been through the fire. You yourself have experienced an immense amount of darkness and pain and loneliness in your life. And at the time you experience these things, it may have made absolutely no sense to you. At the conscious level, you may have wondered or even cried out to God, to the universe, to the divine, why am I going through this? Why do I have to experience this? And the answer that you may have not understood at the time, but that is now becoming clearer to you, is that you had to experience shadow to its fullest extent so that you could truly empathize with and hold space for the shadow within others. I'm hearing you are not afraid of darkness. You are not afraid of pain. You are not afraid of loneliness, because you've experienced all of these things to their fullest extent, and you have emerged from that fire transformed. Just like in the process of burning away lesser substances from precious metals, they will be burned and refined through the fire. You have been burned in the sense that you have experienced betrayal, heartbreak, pain, hurt in your life. But you have been refined through that burning experience. You have come out transformed and brilliant, and yet able to understand the darkness in a way that people who know you on the surface would never expect. I'm getting as well that there may be things about your physical appearance that maybe lead people to believe that you've had an easy life or that you haven't experienced darkness or pain. Now, this could be something about your literal appearance. This could be something about the way you operate in life, the way your life looks to others. But sometimes when people connect with you on a superficial level in the 3D, they deeply misunderstand you. They do not realize how much darkness and pain you have experienced to be refined into the person that you are. But again, it's almost like people who have a lot of heaviness, who have a lot of darkness, lost souls in a sense, although that's a bit of an extreme word. People who are feeling really lost will actually call you into their life at a spiritual level because you've been through those experiences, and because through connecting with you, you can deeply inspire them to heal themselves, to shift their energy, to raise their vibration, to embody their highest potential. But the painful aspect of this for you as the healer and the teacher that you are is that not everyone wants to get better. Not everyone wants to rise. Not everyone wants to face their inner shadows, to do the inner work, to reach for their highest potential. And that is one step you cannot take for them. You can be an example. You can love unconditionally. You can see and hold space for the darkness in others, but you cannot do the work for them. And sometimes people fall out of your life simply because they are either too afraid or too unmotivated to truly self-examine what your mirroring effect is bringing up for them. And in fact, at times, they will even project what you are bringing up for them back onto you. And this can lead to a situation where you almost feel like you are running circles with someone or trying to explain yourself, but it feels almost like talking to a wall where you are just simply not being understood. At these times, know that someone you are communicating with in those moments is not capable of receiving the vibration of your words, because the vibration of your words is on a higher level than they are allowing in. They are choosing victimhood, or they are choosing their own darkness. They are choosing their own unconsciousness. And therefore, someone who is committed to a lower vibration will quite simply not be able to access information that you are giving them, even if you are wording it in a perfect manner from a 3D perspective. This is a really strange and widely misunderstood aspect of our human communications with one another physically. We can use the same words, in fact, perfect words to describe something, but if someone is not in the vibrational vicinity of the information or of the explanation, they will stonewall us. They will entirely block us out. They will almost give us this glazed over look, like they are absent or something from a level of consciousness. And this is because vibrationally speaking, they are absent in the sense that they are not connecting with the vibration of what we are speaking or what we are sharing with them, either about ourselves or about something else. So at times, people will fall out of your life simply because you entered their life as a result of them calling you in, but then after they called you in successfully, after they manifested you essentially, but at a soul level, they made a decision to commit themselves to a lower level of vibration and to project what they were realizing about themselves but couldn't accept back onto you. Now, this has been the strangest reading so far. I haven't even pulled a single card. I just received this huge download for someone listening, and it's my intention that if this was for you, you understand at a deep level that people falling out of your life in this manner does not mean you're doing something wrong or that you are on the wrong track. And it doesn't speak to your lovability. It doesn't speak to the value of your presence, the value of your energy. In fact, it's the exact opposite, to bring everything full circle to the beginning of this reading. Yes, they do know your value, and that is exactly why they are feeling intimidated. That's exactly why they are feeling triggered. I'm hearing not good enough. So specifically for you, Divine Feminine, there may be a masculine or divine masculine energy in your life who is experiencing this dynamic with you, or putting you in this position where I'm hearing you are willing to see this person 100%. In fact, you do see them for their shadows. I'm hearing you see certain shadows in this person that they haven't even come to terms with within themselves. However, there is a major gap between your level of spiritual awareness and this particular masculine's level of spiritual awareness. Particularly, I'm picking up that you are someone who can truly laugh at yourself. You can introspect. You don't take life so seriously because you understand that what we are living in the physical 3D world is barely scratching the surface of what is really going on spiritually within us, between us as souls. And I'm seeing there's been this really powerful shift on your soul's journey where it's like you are no longer taking life so seriously. You're able to lighten up, to play, to create, to connect, to have fun, because you've already been through your trials, you've been through the darkness, and you have gone through a massive ego death where essentially, and this is another download that's been coming through the last few days, but most people are, metaphorically speaking, walking around with a mask glued to their face, believing that their face is the mask. And of course, what I mean by this is most people put on a persona that they are so attached to and that they've never removed, they've never seen what's underneath, that they believe that they are the mask. They believe that what they show the world is who they really are at a core level. But when you go through a spiritual awakening, that mask gets unglued. And not only that, but for a period of time, you are unable to even put on a mask at all. You go through this raw experience where you are seeing the very core of yourself, where others are seeing you in a pure, vulnerable state. And many people are repelled away from you for that reason. And during this time, it can feel so vulnerable. You can feel as though nothing and no one is safe. You can feel as though you don't know who you are because who you are has been hidden behind that mask that's been glued to your face. But over the course of time, as you become accustomed with who you really are, you become confident in your true face, innocence, in your true spiritual self. The beauty of exiting the hermit phase is that now you become one who can essentially wear any mask. Now, I don't mean that you can deceive or be deceptive. What I mean is you are like a chameleon. You can blend in anywhere. You can understand anyone. You can play any role. This makes you an extremely powerful creator because you can create yourself. You can manifest yourself to be whatever you desire to be. But the beauty of this post-spiritual awakening, post-ego death, is that you now know that regardless of the hat you're wearing, regardless of the mask, so to speak, that you might be putting on, the role you might be playing, whether that is a role of being a friend, being a family member, being a partner, being a teacher, being a student, being in a workplace, building a business, whatever roles you take on or assign to yourself, you understand also simultaneously that you have manifested yourself into that place and that those roles do not define you, that you are this limitless, infinite, undefinable, all-powerful creator that is always there at the core, under the mask, beneath the surface. And this emanates from you a silent confidence that naturally causes others to desire to gravitate towards you. This is why people who go through a spiritual awakening like the one you've gone through, and who then begin to exit their cocoon, to exit their hermit mode, which I'm getting many of you listening are doing that at this time. you find that you become highly magnetic for conversations, for connection, for interest, curiosity from others, because others can sense that confidence within you that comes from knowing who you truly are at a soul level. So again, I do apologize if some of this is not connecting for you personally. I recognize this reading may be one of those that is very hyper-specific to a certain group of divine feminines, but this also felt incredibly important to share about. So I want to go ahead and pull a Rose Oracle card for you as well. So what is a Rose Oracle card that I can share with our beautiful Divine Feminine collective here? Lineage of the Rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call, gather. So I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook here as well. And the guidebook here says, these times, these changing divisive times, your soul chose to be here right now for this. You're part of a collective team led by the goddess, by the mother of all of us, to reweave the thread of the rose back into the tapestry of humanity, to make spaces where all people feel cherished and safe, to heal and be healed from the destructive patterns, to be part of the return of the goddess to the earth. If you've been doubting your path, you're being called to look within and trust the whispers and weavings from caverns deep. The way of the mystic rose is walked by few and known by heart, not mind. Rather than overthinking, trust the threads that are woven deep. Wow, that feels like a really, really beautiful message. I do want to see if I can pull any traditional tarot cards to further extend upon the energy that's been coming out in this reading. So here we have the Seven of Cups, but in the reversed position. So this card is giving me the energy of someone who has a lot of potential options, choices, or opportunities in their life, but they're feeling as though many of those choices either feel beneath them, vibrationally speaking, just don't feel quite matched to them, or something about them just seems a little bit off or doesn't seem quite right. Now, this could be romantically, this could be in the workplace, financially speaking. We also have the card Ten of Swords. So someone here could be feeling very exhausted on a deep emotional and spiritual level. This is the kind of exhaustion that comes from someone who has been experiencing everything we've been discussing in this reading. Someone who, the word betrayal is coming out. You may have felt deeply betrayed by someone or a group of people close to you, or just felt as though there was someone or something or people in your life that felt it's almost like you felt they really held a potential to be these long-term connections, either platonically or romantically. But again, it's like they either betrayed you or weren't ready or couldn't quite match your level. And you're coming up as the Queen of Cups. So someone who is deeply empathic, nurturing, has very strong intuition for the future. I'm also getting that at times your nurturing energy attracts people who may not be matched to you energetically, but who want to feed off of your higher vibration, like essentially wanting to experience the benefit of your energy, of your alignment, of the inner work you've done on yourself without needing to do the inner work within their own self, because they're coming up as the Two of Wands reversed, being someone who is either indecisive or afraid of change, afraid of making a change within themselves. And I just feel this energy of you throwing off or cutting ties with these influences that seem so committed to their own unconsciousness while feeding off of the beautiful energy that you have worked so hard to cultivate around yourself. It's almost like people taking that high vibrational, nurturing energy for granted, not realizing how much you've poured into yourself and your life in order to cultivate yourself into the person that you've become. So in the extended version of this reading on Patreon, of course, we will be extending these messages into additional details and pieces of information. Specifically on Patreon, I'm going to be channeling into your aura. So I want to know who or what might be connected to you, specifically those who may have been feeding off of your energy, or anyone else that may be connected to you in some way at this time. These could be more spiritual, higher self messages. These could be romantic, platonic, or life path messages. And of course, your presence in the Patreon reading will actively co-create all of the information that does get manifested there as well. So the link to join our beautiful Patreon soul tribe and access the extended reading video is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But for now, here on YouTube, I'm going to close this very unique reading that was really mostly a download with some card pulls. And we're going to close this with the card Divine Mother Manifests. So I'm just going to be reading a message from the guidebook here. Oh, you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss, for those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, we pray for light, we pray for love, we honor and live our lives with its mysteries with as much integrity as we can muster. But beyond that, it is best to participate in this life with much less certainty than the mind would have us believe necessary for inner peace. Inner peace doesn't come with understanding. It comes with trusting. Wow, that feels like such a beautiful place to close the reading. Thank you so much. My heart goes out to each and every one of you here on this path, on this shared spiritual journey, sharing your own truly beautiful, unique energy, your core soul essence with our YouTube community. If you do feel a resonance here, then welcome. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. For some reason, I'm really feeling guided to say to someone that you are doing so much better than you think and so much better than you sometimes give yourself credit for. And your light as well at this time is powerfully reaching and influencing and impacting so many people, many of which you are actually not even consciously aware of. So thank you for everything you are doing at this time behind the scenes, for the planet, for all of the collective consciousness that is ascending, that is leading us into this new earth that we are co-creating here together. And of course, I'm sending you all so much love as always. I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.